Here comes the nasty gram.
Send a priest to save my soul, forget it.
Welcome back to the Nastygram RPG podcast. This is Wings of Kani, episode 19, Martyr.
Feeling it too hard is the poison to the heart of a sick.
Amidst the clatter of a bustling repair bay, a young Rige shadows an older Kita mechanic as they walk up to the gangplank of the Deepwater-class freighter that just docked. The pilot of the freighter, Amon Kalmari, walks down towards two Kita. The mechanic pulls up his datapad. Welcome to New Tauros, pal. What do you need?
The port side maneuvering thrusters are thought, and the backup shield generator needs some new power converters.
The mechanic nods and takes a drag from his desk stick. All right, we'll have a look around, and I'll let you know what it'll cost. Rish, get up on the hull and start taking those thruster panels off. Sure thing, Io. Rish climbs up to the top of the hull, his hands tracing long black scars in the plates before him. Hey, it looks like you took a few hits from a cannon.
Yeah, ran into some trouble a few systems back. Was hoping to lie low here, but it seems you folks have new management.
Rish pipes up. Yeah, those bucket heads are getting more and more. Rish, shut it. Don't want to hear that talk here, kid. The pilot gives a wry smile and a wink to Rish. Just then, an Imperial officer, flanked by a squad of stormtroopers, exits the elevator to the repair facility hangar. Rish's grip tightens on the hydrospanner in his hand, and he starts to climb back down. All of the clangs of metal on metal start to die down. The repair bay falls silent in anticipation. The officer scans the hangar and clears his throat.
The Imperial Governor has ordered a sweep for dissidents and rebel agitators within the Kani system. You will all line up against the wall and be searched, a temporary inconvenience to ensure the safety of us all.
His cold eyes scan the Kita faces staring at him and the stormtroopers.
Sergeant?
He gives a curt nod to the stormtrooper with a red pauldron. The squad begins to fan out. Rish starts to inch forward, hefting the spanner in his hand. Io places a hand on his shoulder and says to the officer, "You don't have authority in New Tauros. The Viceroy ensured that the Kita can remain neutral and independent while the Empire conducts their operations in system." The officer grins.
The situation has changed, and it is clear that Dosh is not capable of weeding out the traitorous scum that infect this station.
As the stormtroopers close in, Io turns to the Mon Calamari and says, "Get the kid out of here if you can. He's got nothing to do with this." The stormtroopers start grabbing all the workers and shoving them towards the hangar wall. Io lets his desk stick fall to the ground and bellows, "To hell with the Empire!" bull rushing the nearest stormtrooper to the floor with a crash. Many of the Kita take note and begin wrestling with their captors, blaster bolts being shot in all directions. The officer tries to shriek,
Arrest them all!
But is drowned out by the all-out brawl happening around him. The Mon Calamari pilot grabs Regis's shoulder and pulls him up into the ship.
Come on, kid. Nothing you can do. We have to get out of here.
Just before the hull of the freighter blocks his view, he sees Io bash one of the stormtroopers with his wrench just before three other troopers unload their blast rifles into him. His body falls to the floor, smoke billowing up from his burned flesh and clothes.
For millennia, the Takani lived in peace, in communion with their homeworld of Kani. The Galactic Civil War forced the Takani to leave their home. Together with the Kida and the 11 synthetic Venko, the denizens of Kani and their fleet gather unlikely allies in their search for a new home.
Welcome back to the Nastygram RPG podcast. My name is Devin, and you've changed so much.
Hey everyone, Dan here, playing Zeta the Slicer, and he's locked in the boot.
Hey guys, this is John. I'm playing Arish Kantari and S3RV0, also locked in the boot.
Live here from the boot.
Hey, this is Jake playing San Tavar, and I am altering the deal.
Are we catering to our English fans by saying boot?
You are.
I love all of you.
The views expressed by Dan are the opinions of Dan alone
Solely.
and do not reflect the opinions of Nasty Graham or its partners. We see a green planet, blue swaths of ocean. A ship hangs in orbit. In the foreground, an asteroid passes as we see clear signs of industrialization. A city built into the rocky surface. Text in the lower third of the screen reads, New Tauros, Kani orbit. We see small mining craft jettison from the Void Dancer towards the city, where we cut to the surface of the asteroid as Venko and Kita drift along tow cables towards a radio tower. We hear over the comms, remember, we need this one whole. Don't leave a single component. If the intel is correct, there's more to these than just comm modules. And we return to Naboo. Zeta, Rej,
Yes.
you two are in the back of this repulsor sled, this repulsor craft.
For our English audience, we're in White Pickle, eh?
Translate.
I'll translate the whole thing.
We're in Barney Rubble.
Zeta, when you're controlling remotely these droids, are you sort of
Inert.
Inert?
Still.
Are you unable to process stimuli from your body?
I think it's very muted.
Okay.
Like volume is turned way down to like a 1 or a 2.
Okay. But you
And
still have some awareness.
I'd say minimal. Yes.
Okay. Just curious.
If someone were to talk to me, I probably, unless I were to break concentration, I wouldn't be able to hear them.
Okay.
But I would know that someone's talking to me
Okay.
or around me.
Okay. A DC 10 Constitution saving throw, or half the damage, whatever is higher, will break your concentration.
Lovely.
Okay. And we have San, who is in a, call it, circular chamber, standing alongside the IG-100 Magna Guard,
Played by Zeta.
played by Zeta. We just flashed to these two very different situations. Evandimo, your short-lived ally who brought you down here,
Curse him.
With friends like these.
with friends like these, who needs spies.
I'm hoping it ends up being a Lando situation.
Yeah, he comes back.
We
Hear that,
couldn't.
Andrew?
We couldn't book Andrew again, so
So he's a bad guy.
So he's a bad guy now.
Evandimo disappears into the crowd of Naboo security individuals that are now closing around this craft. And San had heard a voice.
So on a re-listen to that last episode, am I right in assuming like I heard everything that she said?
Yes.
So I know that this was a trap. I know that Zeta and Rej have been apprehended. Okay.
Yep. You heard her dismiss Evandimo, saying his job is done, and to give her thanks to the Chiss ascendancy. Not going to be important in this arc, so you don't have to write that down.
Spoiler. Jesus.
Let's start with San. In this dark chamber, all around you, there are more of these tunnels. Evandimo told you, if you want to find a place that's vulnerable, you go here, you take a left, you take another right, you keep going. You'll draw their attention there. But you find yourself in the twisting tunnel works of this sewer system. That voice echoes. You can't tell where it's coming from. All of the pathways around you are dark. The Magna Guard stands silently. Dan, you can play the Magna Guard. I'm gonna hand that off to you.
Oh yeah.
All right.
He is the Magna Guard.
He is the Magna Guard.
I actually stop and I look into the Magna Guard's face, get kind of close, and I say, listen to me. Listen, Zeta. You must trust your feelings. Trust me.
The head swivels to look down at you and then looks forward again.
And I start walking forward and I ignite my lightsaber.
The hallway glows red. You just pick at random a way to go.
I pick the way that feels right.
The Magna Guard have like force pikes, right?
Yes.
It ignites next to him, that kind of crackle of energy running down the pike.
White, blue, red, all cast shadows along the walls. Give me a trust your feelings, son. Find the way to go.
Is that deep?
That is deep.
I failed.
Oh, man.
I'm just going to.
Mark experience.
That's not the same as using the force, right? You didn't get a dark side point for that.
That's not use the force?
No, you're trusting you. That's
it's
trust
right.
your feelings.
Thank.
It's a basic move. All right, I
anyone
failed.
can do it.
I'm glad I didn't become a Sith on the way there.
I'm pretty shook at the moment, so I don't think I can focus. Yeah.
You are walking. It's in darkness, and you turn and you walk into another corridor, or you walk into another room, and you hear behind you as a door closes and separates you from the Magna Guard, and lights come on.
You hear like a metallic pounding on the door.
There's in front of you, this looks like a staging area for, you think that group that was guarding this underground warehouse. This looks like a sort of a staging area for their personnel. So there's lockers, there's tables, there's chests, and it looks used and it looks current, but there's no one in here. You hear that voice again. You getting closer, my apprentice? What is it you come down into the earth to find?
Why are you playing these games?
I'm curious what you've learned along your journey. Revisiting your past, what new insights did you hope to gain?
I've learned what you're trying to do here.
Have you?
I think I have. And I think my time apart from you has given me insight as to why you do what you do.
A figure walks out of one of these tunnels. Black robes, tight-fitting, close-fitting, black armor. You don't see the disc, but the red-skinned Twi'lek. Your master, Malik, walks calmly out of the darkness. Please share.
All my life, you taught me to embrace my feelings. You taught me that fear should be cultivated. But I realize now that what you were really doing was ensuring that there was always that doubt, that fear in the back of my mind, that fear of you, that fear of what might happen if I disobey, if I stray from the path you'd set before me.
Are you so sure my path is not righteous, and I was merely trying to guide you for your own survival?
I always thought that you feared nothing. But after the Emperor's death, I saw what it was you truly feared. You fear a world where you must forge your own path. You were always a follower. You've never known how to be anything else. When given the opportunity to do as you wished, all you wished to do was bring him back. That's still what you wish to do, isn't it?
You're wise, my apprentice. If I were to choose my own path, it would perhaps lead me to my own destruction. But alas, I have found another way, a path guided by the Force. Come.
I thought that to be free of you, I needed to make my own path, to do what you were incapable of doing, to leave my master. And even after his death, you couldn't leave him.
I would like to show you something, and then you can decide your path. She turns and starts walking down this hallway. Lights turn on.
I kind of look back towards the door where the Magna Guard is.
You see slight kind of indents coming from the other side. You can hear the pounding, but the door holds.
I follow her.
We see the two figures walking down the hallway, turn out of sight. We hear, "Stand up! Stand up!" Rij, you're laying down in the back of this repulsor sled. None of them can see you. They're coming towards converging on the repulsor craft from the front,
Yep.
where you're hidden from sight, but in mere moments, they'll be surrounding.
Damn it. S3, come here. Kind of runs over. Rij grabs one of the charging rounds for the turbo, the laser cannon, like the recharge.
Yep.
And open your compartment. Little side compartment opens, slides open. All right, hold on to this. He puts this charged laser cannon power unit in there and closes it up. All right, we'll have to play it slow. Zeta's out. Dosh.
Yes.
We'll have to play it cool, but we'll get out of here, okay?
I've been a prisoner before. He puts the blaster down.
Yep. We're unarmed.
Stand up. Stand up.
Rij stands and drops his knife and his blaster pistol on the ground.
Dosh stands as well. And you see these security personnel, white and tan clothes. They have their blasters raised and they're circling around now. And they move in. You see a couple of them come with restraints. They point their blaster at Zeta. What's wrong with him?
His power unit's malfunctioning. You can leave him here for now. If you need help getting him powered back on, it's going to take a lot more than blaster fire.
The individual addressing you shouts to another one, "Get another sled. We're going to take this one." And they come in and restrain you. Zeta's left there for a moment. A couple more individuals are staying there, but Zeta wouldn't know. And you are walked into this, through these blast doors, these huge blast doors, maybe 20 meters across. And they're open, they're ajar just maybe 5 meters, enough for you to walk through. And inside you see this huge warehouse. At the far end of the long side, you see there's the similar blast doors, hangar doors almost, that are opened up a little bit wider. You see in the blue sky and out, clear outside. Dan, that's not a funny, nasty grim. To your left and right, you can see these transport vessels, cargo vessels, as well as these containers, storage containers. Individuals are moving, looks like crates and fuel cells and things. These ships appear to be getting ready to launch, and these containers are being loaded.
So not a sewer. This is a hangar.
Keep moving. And they push you towards one of these vessels. There's a guard standing outside who opens it up. Go ahead, get in. They push you with the barrels of their blasters.
Yeah. Rij kind of lets himself get pushed in.
Dosh says, "There must have been a misunderstanding. We're here on the captain's request." And get in, go, get in. "Yeah, we'll talk to the captain." Pushes you guys in there. And the door closes. A few moments later, it opens again. And there's like a gurney sled that's just rolled in right in the middle platform, benches on both sides. And Zeta is like strapped down onto it. Door closes.
Oh, that's good luck. They brought him here. I was worried they were going to take him to Zan's master.
The Venko? You think his master wants something with the Venko? Why?
They're interested in what we've created, how we've created it. Zeta, well, Zan thinks Zeta can tap into the Force.
I commend our engineers' technology, but
Hey, think about it. Is it so crazy that the Kani, the Kita, all this connection to Kani, our world, that was all the Force? We all thought it had to do with the planet itself, the Oracle. and our ties to our parents, the Takani. But that's not true. Not really. And the Venko, they have a piece of it. And Zeta, I think, in particular.
We have to get out of here. If I can only speak with Captain Koro.
I think the captain is an Imperial. I think this whole operation's been compromised, and we need to get off this planet.
I'm saying maybe we could make a deal.
What deal?
I don't know.
You've made deals with Imperials before, Dosh, and how did that turn out?
I was doing what I thought was best.
What you thought was best. And now you continue to do what you think is best. But you're not thinking about who we're dealing with. They'll go at any length to get what they want. They'll tell you, they'll smile, tell you they'll agree to whatever deal we get. Whatever gets them what they need, which is Zeta, the pods, even the Takani.
Give me a suave.
Yep.
+1.
Okay.
It's good.
Good.
Good role
It's a
playing.
-1. That's a fail.
Mark
Level
experience.
4. I'm gonna mark a luck for that one.
Cool.
It's 12.
Dosh looks at you. In the orbit of Dodori 6, Boz came again. He sought more. He sought to alter the deal. I didn't give it to him. I feel since then we've been a target of these Imperial factions. They're not even a cohesive unit anymore. Taking out bounties on each other. Infighting. It's chaos.
What Boz wanted was compliance. And his objective was the information about the Takani, about how they're created, how the Venko are created, and you denied him that. What did you expect was going to happen?
And in doing so, a chain of events that now threatens the existence of the Takani themselves and us.
That's the past, Dosh. We live in the now. We need to get you, S3, and Zeta out of here. And San.
Any ideas?
I have an idea. The material they had in those containers, that blue orb, the Gungans call it goo.
He has a very serious face as you say that. He's nodding. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Lucas.
It contains, it's as if you took 20 batteries, 20 capacitors, and stuffed them into one. That's how they power all of their growing shields and their weapons and their machines. It's a natural energy source, concentrated.
We need to get to it, but how do we get out of here?
I can get out and make a distraction. Detonate it so you can get out, get to the ship.
Okay.
If you can get to the surface, Zeta should be able to contact the Wandering Star and get them to evac you out.
He looks around the inside of the ship. I feel it's unsafe to detonate ourselves out of here, but I'll follow your lead.
There isn't much safe options right now, Dosh. But we need to get word to San. We need to get him out too.
We cut back to San. You're now walking along a catwalk. We pull out from the ship, and we see San and Malik walking along a catwalk, looking down at that very ship where they're being held. She walks ahead of you, her back to you, her hands folded behind her back. She says, "For decades, the Emperor searched the galaxy for deeper secrets of the Force, new ways to harness it. He tried to draw the living force from planets rich in life, planets like Dodori 6 and Kani. Using Republic-era beam emitter sites, his goal was to transmit and channel the Force to power his superweapons, a resource much more abundant than Kyber. Imagine, my apprentice, weapons like the Death Star all around the galaxy, able to strike anywhere at any time, terrifying prospect, wouldn't you agree? She doesn't wait for an answer. When he found that the living force of a planet was inelastically tied to the soil, the waters, the sky, he sought to draw it from its denizens. Malik is standing now. She stopped walking. She waves a hand, and a soldier opens one of the crates, just pulls this side away, revealing pods, 3 by 5 in these shipping containers. You see those blue orbs of the goo powering them. You can see figures inside. They look like Takani, mature Takani. Just as you saw on the Oracle, with the aspect in stasis inside. She continues speaking. The Takani are unique as they absorb the living force around them and feed it back into their environment in a beautiful symbiotic cycle. What you found on Dodori 6 was not a case of the planet affecting the Takani, but the sickened Takani affecting the planet. Most of the research into this project, Source, was tainted by greed and reckless ambition. Naboo, however, was a success, and Queen Saruna's temperance in her dealings with the Empire kept the research untouched in the later years of the war, before the fall. She turns to you.
You call this planet a success. Have you seen what's going on up there? Have you seen the effects that this has had on the climate?
I fear your information is incomplete. These disasters on the planet are not a result of this research, but that greed and reckless ambition that I mentioned that has tainted this research to this point. Terraforming and seismic activity is a result of technology employed by the Empire to put pressure on systems that don't cooperate. It's been done before. Naboo won't be the last.
Why continue it? You can stop it.
I do not wish to stop it. I intend to take these containers, my apprentice, all of them. I'm going to take them far away and discover secrets that were out of reach of even the Emperor himself. These Takani are a conduit for the Force. They will not be harmed. They will merely slumber as the Force flows through them and into me.
The Takani thought that they drew their power from the planet. But in fact, they were creating the power the whole time. They were giving this power to their planet.
The living Force. Join me, son. The secrets of the Force will be known to you as well. You need not be party to the squabbles of warlords, pirates, and rebels, all of which now sit in the core worlds under the banner of New Republic.
You're not trying to bring back the Emperor.
No. I'm trying to usher in a new era of the Force. An era in which those who see will be a conduit for the galaxy to speak to the masses. An era ruled by the Force and not by silver-tongued despots aboard star destroyers. Those days are over. You taught me that. She's up close to you now.
There's something else. Something that perhaps you're not aware of. The Takani, they may be the living force, but their children have learned to harness that force in a way that the Emperor dreamed of. They have learned to do something that he sought to do for a long time.
She takes a step back from you, listening.
There's a cutscene now, and there is a Magna Guard running through the hallways, searching.
Give me a roll. Kani,
10.
you're about to look up at Malik, or you do look up at her, about to speak, and you see behind you on this walkway a Magna Guard slide out.
I say, the Kani, they have created life. Not clones, not droids, something else, something new. Do you remember the whispers of Project Necromancer? Clones that could be strong enough in the Force to allow the Emperor a new body, should he need it.
In the background, you see the Magna Guard climb over the railing and land heavy. That heavy sound of metal hitting the floor as it begins walking towards San.
Master, the Venko are that. They are not just strong in the Force. They are immortality.
The Force pike ignites as he walks closer.
And so, I have brought one to you. A gift. And I point past her at the Magna Guard.
She spins around and looks at the Magna Guard.
It regards her.
Her hands go to her side, outstretched. A black lightsaber handle in her hand.
The head of the Magna Guard just imperceptibly turns and doesn't focus on her, but past her at San and looks to San.
Stand down, Venko. This is your new master now. And I kneel.
She looks at the Magna Guard.
The staff kind of rests at attention, but doesn't shut off yet.
Very good, my apprentice. You have become wise.
With the power, once the power of the Venko has been harnessed, we shall fear nothing, not even death.
I have one more thing to show you. Rise, San.
I stand up and step towards her.
She looks down one of those crates. She just extends a hand and it just effortlessly rises. I had thought to take on a new apprentice, but perhaps it was my instinct that guided me. Your instincts that brought you back here. It lands on the ground. She waves a hand again. It just sort of unfolds. And there's this black bundle on the ground. Gleaming breastplate atop it.
San has a look of kind of annoyance. And he says, you knew all this time that I would be back. And I pick up a piece of it.
I have always been with you, watching you along your way. I am proud of what you have become. A wise counselor, a cunning warrior. You've proven your aptitude many times over, especially with Typhon. As disdainful as he was an inquisitor. And by all rights, your trials are complete. You have earned this.
I pick up the black helmet and look into the polished front of it at my own reflection.
There's a noise. What does it sound like, Rij?
A noise?
Mm-hmm.
Like a million voices crying out at once and then being silenced.
You gonna pop your way out of this ship? Or no?
No.
Okay. I have a plan if you don't.
Reese, so Reese says, S3, here, open it up. And the secret compartment opens. He grabs the power cord and kind of huddles in the corner while he makes some adjustments. He says to Dosh, you'll have to push the sled. You'll have to push the sled out of here. S3 will show you the way out. Once the explosion goes, you run.
He's nodding.
I'll meet you at the Wandering Star.
It's all the way outside of Theed. How am I supposed to get there?
S3 will show you the way.
Okay.
All right. He clicks the thing open, splices some wires together, and then has two wires hanging. ready to be touched together. Okay, S3, cut the lock and we'll go. S3 rolls over to the front of this gate, and a little arm pops out with a plasma cutter and starts to cut the locked, the gate latch open. All right, here I go. Wish me luck, Dosh.
Good luck.
See you on the other side.
He gulps.
Rij barrels the door open and just full bore runs towards the goo.
You hear this localized explosion, and Malik's head turns and swivels and looks down. You see one of these craft. It looks like the door is just sort of blown off. You see smoke for now.
Rij. He'll destroy everything if we don't stop him.
She looks at you, looks at the Magna Guard, and then jumps down.
I look towards the Magna Guard and I say, the Kani are in those pods. We can't let Rij destroy them. And then I jump off the side.
Rij, you make a run. You're going for those containers?
Yep.
All right, give me act under pressure.
Sure.
Raised voices. You hear shouting. No blasters yet.
What was the act under pressure?
Yep.
11.
You get there and you get cover. It sounds like these voices are still looking. What was that? Find him.
Rij looks down at his improvised explosive device. No time to set a timer. I can't throw this. It's been a good run. He looks up at the containers, at the other troopers like running past.
You hear over the comms. Rij, please be advised. The Kani are in the containers. I repeat, the Kani are in the containers. The Magna Guard goes kind of inert. Zeta sits up from the or he's strapped down to a medical gurney. Yeah.
You're not strapped in anymore.
Okay.
But you speak, and Dosh stumbles back and lands on his butt on the bench.
Zeta sits up.
What do you mean, Zeta? In the warehouse?
That is correct.
Is that true? Sorry. Are they in these, or are they in the pods further down? Sorry.
You look across.
I look up, yeah. I look at them.
There's another one of those containers, the one that Malik had shown San, and you see that there are, looks like Genesis pods in them with figures inside. Those glue, you do see those goo orbs powering them.
Damn it. All right, well, what do I do? How do we get them out of here?
Zeta, you see there's a figure that comes up to the back of that door. It's blown out. The smoke is sort of clearing now. And it's a man in an impeccable military uniform, perfectly creased hat. It's Captain Koro. His blaster is raised.
Captain Koro, which one was?
He was the captain that escorted
right.
you and Dosh.
I say, be advised, it is unlikely that we have the necessary resources to win this battle.
You hear another voice. Out of the way. And a woman pushes past him and comes up. Her blaster's raised. She looks at you, goes, my name is Sasha Saruna. I'm here to rescue you. Come on.
We are currently being rescued.
There are more voices behind. There's a couple of blaster bolts that now pass from the front of the ship to the back of the ship. You can see them firing off. She says, let's go. We don't have a lot of time.
Rendezvous with us as soon as possible. Zeta out.
Rij, you see there's blaster fire, not aiming towards you. You're in cover. You'll feel like you're hidden, but you see there's fire blasters being fired at the ship.
What ship? What ship? Sorry.
The ship that you were loaded into, the one that you were.
Oh, it was a ship. I thought we were just in a crate.
Nope.
Zeta closes his eyes briefly, sends a command to the Magna Guard,
okay,
and then starts following these people out.
Why don't you roll that for me?
Sure. 14.
Beautiful. San, you see a ton of movement. You don't see Malik. You see that blaster fire.
I'm going to retcon before I jump off. Son actually puts on the armor.
Cool.
Reese says over comms, I'll delay them. Get to the ship.
Understood.
Reese is gonna try to get to a container with goo in it.
Sure.
And,
Give me a quick assess. Give me a quick canny.
Yep. 10, 11.
You do see that there are smaller containers that likely have those marks like the biohazard little things that you assume they're marked for volatile energy source. You assume that there's goo in them.
Okay. He runs over. He's going to run over there and try to collect some.
Okay.
As much as he can get into like a satchel or whatever.
Give me an act under pressure.
Yep.
You got to do this quick.
12.
Okay. You're able to pop this thing off. These kind of look hastily sealed
Packed.
up. Yep.
Yeah.
Hastily packed. And you're able to grab some. But you are alone. You are sort of isolated from the rest of the group. The woman speaks to you, Zeta. We need to get to the surface now.
There are a large number of security forces between us and the surface.
She peeks out behind the ship. Damn it. We need a distraction, something to draw them away.
You do not have a very good plan.
No, we do not. And we do not have a lot of time either.
That is correct. Riche,
Yeah.
is it possible to create a distraction?
He looks down at the goo he has and the explosive that he kind of put together. Yeah. I can create a distraction.
Be sure to mitigate any loss to Kani lives.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna use my edge for one way out.
Sure.
Rij takes a deep breath. He says to himself, "Take care of him, Galdo." And he grabs the satchel of goo and runs towards the security forces, the Imperials.
They raise their blasters. Stop there. Stop him. A couple of them start running towards you.
He ducks and dives between blaster fire. And as he gets close enough, he touches the two wires on that canister and explodes.
There's a massive explosion at the doors. You see them buckle and people are scattered. There's smoke that just billows in this column that passes from the front of this chamber all the way to the back. You actually have to get cover. There's debris being thrown. You hear the clunking of metal hitting metal. San, you're lost in this as well as the Magna Guard. There's okay.
S3 starts like bumping Zeta your leg as if to tell you to start going.
We would be advised to leave now.
You feel a hand on your shoulder as Dosh. He's coughing. You seem unaffected by the smoke.
Shall we continue?
S3 just goes.
Okay.
I think Zeta follows after S3 with Dosh's hand on his shoulder and waits for the other two to follow after.
The woman says, Koro, the droid, go. And she and Koro follow behind you. There's blaster fire that's sort of now crossfire that's coming from other positions left and right, but they don't seem to be close to you, just sort of blind shots through the smoke.
San, please be advised we are heading for the surface. Rij is unlikely to be alive.
Unlikely to be alive.
San, what are you doing?
San had put on the armor and he was standing on that catwalk, kind of torn, not sure what to do, looking down below. I think the armor looks very similar to the Emperor Royal Guard armor.
Red?
I think it's mostly red with like black inlays, sort of to almost complement his master's red skin and black armor.
Mm.
But that the visor is just like solid, like mirrored finish. Like the whole helmet is just like the Daft Punk helmet.
Yeah, like the Tron helmet. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, like the Tron helmet. And he like pushes a button and it retracts. So we see his face. And he definitely has a look of kind of anger and sadness, seeing as the smoke clears what Riche has done. But he is kind of reaching out with both hands and supporting some of these pods that might have been damaged and might have fallen had he not done something from the explosion. And he sort of slowly lowers them down to the ground so that they're not damaged. And then he himself jumps down. And he starts directing the security staff.
Yeah.
He starts saying, secure the canisters in the pods. Make sure they're not damaged. Check life support systems.
Give me a suave +1. We'll call it apply leverage, since just the fact of you wearing Inquisitor armor is.
So I got a 12 and I have advanced.
That'll do it.
What is that?
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, I just have the advanced move for Suave.
Are you their god now? Okay, what is that?
I'm not sure. The advanced move for what is advanced for apply leverage?
Advanced on 12 plus. NPCs will do what you want and will help you see it to the end. PCs must do what you're asking.
Okay. So
They say, but sir, we're under attack.
this is more important. Let them run. We can catch them. Secure the pods. Make sure none of these are damaged.
Yes, sir. And the blaster fire stops. You hear your comms just clicking, voices, and through the smoke, we see these figures just move through. San, do you follow?
No. I turn and I say, their ship is in no condition to leave. We will catch them. But first, we must secure the Kani.
Yes, sir. Hey, get the engines fired up. We're taking these out now. And people go to work. We cut to the sewers as we see S3, Dosh, Zeta. What does the Magna Guard do?
The Magna Guard has that standing order.
Okay.
Dan, you're all alone.
That's right.
Yep.
The Magna Guard is standing next to, is right behind San. Very imposing, intimidating figure. Koro and Saruna are following the party through the sewers. And you need to find your way to the surface. She's directing you. Here, turn here. There's a dead end. She goes, Drat, this is new. Here, go this way. And you hear another one of those patrols. You hear the voices. You hear that repulsor craft. There's a couple of turns. It's sort of echoing. You don't know exactly where it's coming from. But Saruna points away that way.
S3 kind of jostles back and forth.
We will need to get to our ship as soon as possible.
Where is it? Where's your ship?
It is located by the lake.
Okay. Here's what we're actually going to do. We're going to get to the surface. We need to get to the... What did he call it? We need to get to the surface. We need to get to the Diplomat's Manor. Dosh, you were staying there. There's a hangar underground. We have some starfighters there in reserve. Old clunkers from the Clone Wars, but they'll fly. That's the only way you're going to get to Otagunga. That's the only way you're going to get to the lake.
S3's like has a little antenna come up with a little dish on it and goes back and forth. It's going to try to figure out where that repulsor lift is coming from.
Okay. Give me a assess.
Do you have a droid playbook in front of you?
I do have a droid playbook. It's an 8.
Okay. One question. And I'll give you a +1 to evade or surprise that patrol.
Yep. What is my best way out?
The patrols are diligent. They're going to check all their corners. They're going to check behind them. Your best way out is to move fast now.
The little antenna gets drawn back into S3's body, and his little leg comes out, and he goes and starts moving down the corridor quickly.
Understood. We should move with immediacy.
Koro, go. Come on. And she pushes him, and you make your way. Give me act under pressure. +1.
What's this? Cool. He's pretty cool.
Cool droid.
11.
Okay. You move and you turn around a corner, and we just cut back to that little intersection that you passed through, and we see that craft. A couple of guys, they're checking their corners. That turret on the top is swinging around, and they continue on by.
Zeta's hand had been flexed open, waiting, and then as it drives by, he lets it fall to his side again.
The operator, there's like a little. I got it. It moves along. We Star Wars cut as we just see this circular walkway around this fountain in Theed on the surface. We hear, and then ding, a manhole cover is pushed up. We see Captain Koro rise up. He has his blaster up. He looks down. He waves. He pulls up Saruna. The rest of you come up. He reaches down with 2 hands to pick up S3. Dosh is down below. He's like pushing him up. Little boosters.
Yeah.
And you rise up on the surface. Saruna takes a look around. Okay, this way. Come on. And she runs off, Captain following her.
Zeta lopes along.
You see above you, there's these overhead patrols. They're flying in 2s, and it seems to be a little bit more activity than what you're used to. You don't know if anything was heard underground or if something else is going on.
S3, have you made communication with Rij? Understood.
Come on, keep moving. Couple of twists and turns, and you come up to the back of that manor. All the windows are all boarded up and barred. Saruna looks. Okay, just inside here. She walks up to the door. She swears under her breath. She takes out a tool and pops open the control panel. A little and a door opens up, like a bulkhead door that goes underneath the building. Come on, down, down, down.
As we kind of walk hurriedly through the corridors, Zeta looks down to S3. He says, "We should report our findings to the Aspect. It is important to know that the Kani are being held."
We can get you in contact with your ship. Here. And she goes over. It's this little like basement, and there's crates, and it looks like a basement. She goes over to a panel, and it just slides away. And there's those lights, those intermittent yellow lights that go down into a lower sublevel. She goes there on the table. That's a comm array. It's not tied to anything in Theed.
Understood. Zeta approaches the table, picks up the comm array. S3, can you provide a secure channel?
His little, like grabber arm comes out. The panel pops open. And he twists and turns a couple knobs. And you hear like a screeching sound on the comm as it picks a secure channel up.
Please be advised, this is a message for the Aspect. Kani are currently being held in the capital of Theed. That's it.
Okay. And then you move down.
Mm-hmm.
That comm array is a very
outdated.
Yeah, very slapdash sort of thing, but it's very simple. It seems to be, it's like an analog sort of radio in a world of, super tech. Or
S3,
rebel.
please set that message to repeat.
A couple of the discs turn back and forth, and then you hear the kind of pulse of that comm go out. As his grabber arm retracts, he rolls over to you.
You make your way downstairs, and it's this industrial sort of stairway, cement. It's not very fashionably adorned. It's not as elegant as the things on the surface of Naboo, but you wind down a couple of flights and another big door, and it's open. It's open and propped, and you see this narrow but long hangar, and you see several yellow, sleek N1 starfighters.
Nice.
And at the far end, you see this like ramp that goes up, and you hear machinery start whirring up.
Leash would have loved that.
You see Saruna is actually in the cockpit of one of these ships starting to fire it up. She turns and looks at you and yells, "Can any of you fly?"
Yes.
Good. They only fit one. Get in.
Understood.
Do they have a droid spot?
Yep.
They
Yeah,
do.
they do, right?
Yep.
Yeah, S3 rolls under the ship as the bottom part opens up and grabs his body and pulls it up into the starfighter. And the cockpit window opens for Zeta.
Zeta, like, kind of spider climbs up through it and into the cockpit. He kind of looks at the controls, unfamiliar with them, and then just puts his hand on the actual machinery, and then the whole thing starts to activate. He's going to use his void array to control the starship.
Cool. Son, you're still back in this hangar by the sewers. Ships are being fired up. These containers are being attached to the wings and the fuselages, and some of the ships are starting to sort of taxi as the cables become taut and start pulling this cargo. You're watching them as they all start to move.
Do I see Malik anywhere?
Give me an assess.
What is that? Kani?
Kani.
That's a fail.
Okay, mark experience. You see these ships are starting to leave. You don't see Malik. You don't see any of your other friends. You feel this isolation, maybe some fear.
Are they like freighter size ships?
No, they're about the size of personal transports or personnel transports with cargo crates that are being essentially lashed onto them.
Okay, I grab someone, like grab them by the shirt, and I say, "Do they have a fighter escort?"
We were supposed to have one. We weren't supposed to leave this early. The escorts are still in the air. We're trying to call them now.
Are there any fighters stationed here?
He looks through the smoke. Give me a fortune roll.
4.
Says, and he points, and there's a TIE advanced, a prototype TIE advanced fighter.
I'm guessing with a 4, it's the prototype part is not a good thing.
Or that there weren't a group of fighters already there.
It's not it's no advanced. I'll escort them, and I make my way to the fighter.
Very well, sir. You make your way to the fighter. You get in, power it up. You head out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fast ship.
Good thing I'm a player character, therefore good if piloting.
You hear something come over the comms. So you've accepted my offer and taken my ship,
Your ship.
the TIE. See that you don't ruin it.
Yes, master.
You fly out. You all see, actually, as you all take to the air, your radars start to ping. Entering into the upper atmosphere, you catch a squadron, Stoic Squadron.
Like squadron. Oh my god.
Oh, gosh. Oh, jeez.
As you all take to the air, your radars light up. A strike squadron. 12 Imperial strike craft jump into the upper atmosphere. And we'll find out what happens next time.
Good gracious.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Wings of Kani. Intro and outro music by Galactic Empire. Check them out at Galactic Empire Official on social media. Our Nasty Graham theme music by A Wilhelm Scream. Dramatic voiceover by Liv. Check her out at Musings of a Polyhedron on Substack. Check us out on nastygrahampod.com. You can get full bios of all the cast. You can get all the links to our social media, links to the feed with all of our back content. So So head on over, check out the Nastygram Lounge on Facebook, and chat with us, and tell us your favorite force powers.
That's nasty.
12 Imperial fighter craft jump into the upper atmosphere. 12 what did I even say? Stupid. Trying to end the episode. I don't know if we get this, but it makes me mad that there's so much crime.